Better probably I deserve to be. We're living in interesting times, as everybody knows. I'm not going to go into a long diatribe about the virus, but it's affecting everybody's life, no matter where you live, no matter where you're listening to. There is some effect on your life right now as we speak regarding this damn virus. So,
well, Jim, I got to tell you, we got to give you guys a lot of props. It feels like everything has been canceled, and yet the wrestling companies find a way to keep cranking out content. WWE had to experiment a little bit with the empty arena SmackDowns and empty arena Raws. And then we got to see our first empty arena Dynamite, and man, it was just high marks all across the board. The most well-received empty arena thing since probably, Lawler Funk, huh?
yeah, that was classic. Was great. I'm sure a lot of folks are catching up with the empty arena match with Lawler and Funk on YouTube and things of that nature. This thing's affecting all of us, and it's affecting travel and the whole 9 yards. I'm planning on going back out next week, or put that better said. I'm planning on flying every week that we're working.
Yeah,
we just don't know how long the damn flights are going to continue to go.
Yeah, it's a weird time, man. There's so many uncertainties in our life right now. One thing we can always count on, though, Jim and I are going to work hard to entertain you. He is broadcasting from the comfort of his home, and I'm doing the same. So we're both sort of self-quarantined, and I know that you guys are taking similar steps. I read in the Observer that last week's Dynamite, it was a deal where the crew had to leave before the roster could show up, and then everyone was separated, and great attention to detail to make sure that, we're going to great lengths to try to entertain everybody, but keep everybody safe. But thankfully, our product here, the podcast, man, you can enjoy this all by yourself.
Absolutely. And we're going to continue to put out new shows every week. If Conrad wanted me to, and he wanted to do 2 shows a week during this ordeal or additional material, I'm all in, no pun intended. But we're going to continue to do what we do because we all need a diversion. And hopefully these few minutes that you spend with us will provide you that diversion. I got a lot on my mind this week, Conrad. This week, this past, the 22nd of March was when Jan died. And I think her accident was on the 20th. So all this whole week and these few days, there's always something that pops up. Somebody remembers. I get a tweet or a Facebook thing or what have you. Twitter, Twitter's always big for that stuff. It's amazing how fans have this great memory and recall. But nonetheless, I lost my angel 3 years ago this week. It's not much easier, but it is what it is. And we have to continue to live and enjoy things and be respectful of what we got. And I certainly am blessed with 25 years of that woman. So it's all good. Life is good. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed. And this show we're talking about today was probably one of the biggest blessings I ever had professionally.
Absolutely.
Because it kind of launched everything.
We're going to talk about WrestleMania 9 today, but before we get going, we should mention, if you're a big fan of Mr. Ross and obviously want to hear more about his story, just like I am, I can't recommend his new book enough. It's something you can do right now while you're self-quarantining a little bit too. It's jrsbbq.com is where you can pick up an autograph version. You're also going to get a commemorative bookmark as a little keepsake, and he'll personalize it for you. And that includes free shipping to the lower 48 for just $40. But by now it's going to be just about everywhere. I guess you should know that on the 30th. Now, most businesses are probably closed, but from what I understand, Amazon is still delivering. So Amazon can help you get this. And, I understand that there's still going to be delivery methods even in these unique times. So, you can certainly try that, but you can also go to jrsbbq.com and just get it customized. Why not?
Yeah, we're going to ship. If your order comes in, for example, today, it will go out tomorrow. So we're going to ship our books. We're working on an opportunity. It won't be $40, but it's not going to be a highway robbery either because of the damn cost of the shipping. We're also working on a shipping package, a book package for the UK and for Canada that should be public anytime. But the lower 48, as Conrad said, free. That's a hell of a good deal. We're going to ship them out from here in Norman. So I appreciate your support on that. It's probably the most memorable piece of work that I've ever been involved in creating because of the nature of the story and how it affected my life. It affected my friend's life, my family, because Jan was such a big part of what we did. And you realize how important she was in the talent relations department, because most of these guys that I've managed had a family, and they had wives more often than not, and for the men, obviously. But she was just great with talking to them and making them comfortable, making them feel that they're important too, because these wrestling relationships, one reason these damn wrestling relationships don't work is because the star of the family has such a unsurpassed ego that they could be, he or she, have to be the center of everything. And so sometimes then the significant other gets kind of left out. And so she was very good about picking up the slack there and remembering birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. So I think for wrestling fans that like history, like reality, and look, it's not a hatchet job of JR killing Vince. There's stories in there that'll make you cringe, but they're truth. And it made me stronger. And look where I am today. I'm in AEW, loving life. I'm working with Conrad Thompson, loving life. So what the hell do I have to be complaining about? I'm very lucky, very blessed. And again, I think you'll really love the book.
It's the best wrestling book I've ever read. You know, I've heard a lot of people say that the best book was Mick Foley's first one or Bret Hart's book, but I'm going to tell you, this is in everybody's top 3. You got to see it. You got to read it. You got to check it out. I couldn't put it down. Can't recommend it enough. jrsbbq.com. Get it personalized. It is a great book. Even if you're not a wrestling fan, I think even a casual wrestling fan or even your wife may enjoy it because there's a real human aspect to it. So can't recommend it enough. Go out of your way to get it.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what adfreeshows.com is all about. Get early ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-free shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that adfreeshows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. adfreeshows.com.